starting
Okay.
the recording, and I'm audible, right?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. So see, the first thing is we can connect database in two ways. First is this, using terminal, right? This is
Yes.
one way, and the other thing is using some software. Like I'm using dbeaver over here. This is the most accepted
Okay.
database connector that is available, or software that is available in the industry right now. The benefit of dbeaver is that if you use pg myadmin, then you will be able to use only mysql server. I think mysql server will only allow you to use the mysql. Pg admin will only allow for to use the postgres, but this thing allows you to use any of the softwares. Like this is postgres, right? 5432 is the postgres
Okay.
default version, right? And then this, if you'll see, okay, mysql will also be there. Okay, I think this Pradhan store is okay. This elephant icon is of Postgres. This dolphin icon is of
Okay.
MySQL, right? And
Yes.
this is Derby. See, DERBY,
Okay.
right? So the benefit of
Yes.
using this software is that you can have a lot of different databases in your single connection, right? So you don't need to download different browsers, and then different softwares for different database to connect, right? Or
Yeah.
everything is in the single thing, and just on a click of something, you it will be connected, right? So this is one way. You can write the script, it will be stored over here. This is one way to work with the database, but we are not going to do this. This is way too easy, and you will be able to do that on your own as well, right? So we are not going to do this.
Yes.
Let me close it. Okay, we will be using terminal for this terminal, right?
Okay. Sir.
And the reason for this terminal is that when you okay, yeah, you are tester, but you will be a developer, right? So the thing is, when we deploy something on a server, right? So there
Yes.
might be a chance that server don't have softwares installed, especially these dbeaver or mysql as server or some pg admin something. So there is a
Yes.
high chance that you will be able to connect the server through the terminal only, right? So you should be
Okay.
able to read the data from terminal. It is way too easy to read
Okay.
data from the Excel, right? Or from the software, right? Because it depicts the data in very good manner. But it is hard
Yes.
to read the data from the terminal. So we will use the terminal. So you can go through the tables right now. If I do I'm using Postgres, right? So if I
Yes.
do this, this is backward slash, right? This is called forward slash, and this is called backward slash, right? So you will use backward slash in L. It means list the database that you have. So these all are databases: Bank, Google, Myntra, Postgres, Pradhan Store, Snapdeal, Template 0, Template 1. These all are databases, right? So if you're using Postgres and you will do forward backward slash L, it will list all the database that you want that is available inside the DB. Cool. And let's suppose we want to connect to Snapdeal, you will do C and then Snapdeal. Cool. Then I will connect to the Snapdeal database.
Okay.
You are connected to database Snapdeal, right?
Okay.
So backslash C means to connect. Cool. Now what I'll do backward slash D. It means describe the structure. And
Okay.
which structure? Snapdeal structure, because we are connected to Snapdeal, right? We are connected to Snapdeal. It is visible over here. So I'm saying describe the Snapdeal. So it is showing me a lot of things. That we have the
Okay.
schema. We will see in a while what is schema. Then the name. Then there is a schema called customer, which is a table type, right? And the
Okay.
owner is Postgres. Postgres is the username. You can have your
Okay.
own username, but I have given the same name, Postgres, to the user. So another, you will see customer underscore order. It's also a table. Then it's a Hibernate sequence, right? So it's a sequence, and the name is Hibernate sequence. Then order, it's a table. Then user order sum, it's a view, right?
Okay.
So we will see. We have you must be aware of table, right? What is a table?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sequence and view might be, there are chances that you are not aware of, right?
Yeah.
Because
I'm
if
not able to.
okay, cool, no issues. We will say what are these, and if we use Hibernate, they create these things on its own. We don't need to
Okay.
see. I mean, but we need to know how it works, right? Because
Yeah. Yeah.
annotations and Hibernate makes it easy that we don't have to type it again and again. But the thing is,
Mhm.
at least we should know what are these, right? Otherwise, we won't be able to use it properly.
Yeah.
So we have seen right now that there are three types of elements we have already seen in a table. When we describe the schema, the table, then schemas are public. Then there are three types of data. we get over here. One is table, one is sequence, and one is view, right?
view.
So let's see the two tables over here, public and let's suppose customers. Cool. These are the data in the customer, right? And even I can say
Yeah.
that please describe the customer table, right?
Yeah.
So now see what I have done. Forward D means describe. When I say describe, when connected to a database, it will describe the database, right? The list of relation it will provide.
Yeah.
When I do the same thing with the table name, right,
Yeah.
then it's
Yeah.
going to describe me the table, the number of columns it has, and the constraint indexes it has, the constraint it has, right? These are constraint over here visible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then indexes, then these indexes, then it use B tree. So we are not
Okay.
going to dive deep into the data structure B tree, but we'll just see the time complexity and how it makes things easier and faster for us, right?
Okay.
So these things now we should know. I mean, the things that we are seeing right now is that these things we should know, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
only if you don't know what are these, then it doesn't matter what they are doing in the background. And if you're
Yeah.
using Hibernate, then Hibernate will create these on your own. If you don't have the knowledge, you can customize them, but you should know first, right? What are these? Then only we will be able to customize. Otherwise, Hibernate will provide the default configuration for them.
Okay.
Like for example, B tree is the default type of index. If you don't provide something else, then the B tree will be created, right? And for the primary key especially, B tree is used directly. Okay, now given that, let's create another table. Create database, and we have already Snapdeal, and we already have Myntra, Google. Okay. Swiggy. We don't have Swiggy, right? So let's create Swiggy.
Okay.
So create database Swiggy. Now database is created, right? So if I
Yeah.
do L, then Swiggy is there, right? Then
Yes.
if I want to connect to Swiggy, what I'll do? I'll do the backward slash and C and
So
Swiggy,
let's see.
and then
Swiggy.
I'm connected to Swiggy. If I'll say that okay, please describe the Swiggy, then it has no relation, right? No database we have created till now.
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing is that we need to know how we can create a database, and we have seen, right, just create database and the name of the database. We have created a
Yeah.
database. Till now we have created a database, but now we need to create tables, right? So
Yes.
we should know how we can create the table. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, all right. Now, yeah. So how do you know the commands to create a table?
Yes.
Come again.
Yes, sir. We can use the create table and table name. We can.
Okay, nice. Create table and a table name. Let's suppose we are creating users, right?
Yes.
User. Yes. Now what?
Uh, we can use like column. We can give the columns that what we need into the table and their data type.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Nice. We can give the table columns and their data types. Right. Very great.
Yes. Yes.
So we need to first open the
Bracket.
yes, parentheses. We call them parentheses, right? If you're going to
Yes.
do the coding question, then the coding question will not be bracket. It will be like balance the parentheses, right? So
Okay.
now post this. I need something, right? So let's
Yes.
suppose I need ID, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
I will write ID, right? It will be user
Yeah.
ID.
Yeah.
Then what
Data type.
what can I do with this ID?
Uh,
Integer.
integer. Yes.
Okay. Something else required for this? Okay, let's
comma
leave that. Let's name string. Let's say string. What
yeah,
we call string in database.
where char.
Nice.
We
Let's
can give
suppose.
this size.
Okay, name. Let's take 255. This is the default value as well for the data type.
Yes,
Okay, let's
we
just
can give.
make use only these two, right? And if
Yeah,
I
yeah,
try to run it, the table is created. Right now, if I do the describe Swiggy, then it will show me that okay, user is the
yeah,
table, type is table, right, and name is the users,
yeah, yeah,
and the owner is
yeah.
Postgres. Cool.
First
If I'll
list.
say that please describe the users, then it will it's going to show me that okay, this is the integer type, this is the name type, right?
Yes.
So, but the thing is, the very mandatory item is the primary key, right, in the table.
Yeah, yeah,
The basic
yeah.
thing that we should know that there should be no table without the primary key, right?
Okay.
So we haven't made anything primary. So this
Yeah.
thing should be primary, right? So let's drop the table public
Okay.
users, right? Again, no relation, right? Swiggy is empty right now
Yeah.
again.
Empty.
So we are going to start again from scratch, create table users, right? Then open
Yes.
parenthesis, then id
In
integer, then
in
we need to write primary key.
okay.
And the thing is, primary key has no space, right? I mean, you don't need to roll run IT, so I know how we write it. You can just go and search it online, it will be visible, right? You can find it online
Yes.
easily. The next thing that we can do is again same thing, that id post id. What we can do is we can write the name, and it
Name
will be
where
varchar. And right now
254.
don't write anything, right? If we try to run, then without giving anything, again the table is created, right? So
Yes.
table is created. If we say that please describe users, then one thing we need to know that over here the name is varchar type, right? And the index is
Yes.
created, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Index is created primary key, and
Yeah.
primary key is of b tree and it is of id. The data type
ID.
of the primary
Primary key is ID.
primary key is id, it is shown over here, but the index that is created is of b tree. The type of index is of b tree, right?
Acha, acha, okay.
Cool. So right now we do have a primary key, and it's id, right?
Yeah.
So till here it's cool, great, there is no issue with this. So let's drop users again. Now we are going to create complete table from scratch again. Cool.
Yes.
So create table.
Create
Right now we know that if we want to create the user, then int id
the
primary key,
primary
right?
key.
I can write in the caps and small. The database is case insensitive, right? You can
Yeah.
use anything. Then name, then instead of name it should be first name, varchar, then
Yeah.
255, and then last name
Where
again
care.
varchar 255. All right.
Yeah.
Then what else we can do?
Mail ID.
All right. Email id. Cool.
Email ID.
Email varchar 255. What else?
Address.
Okay. Saying we'll say it later. Address should be the another thing. I mean another table. It should not be in the
Okay.
same
Okay.
data. I mean the reference.
Phone number.
Yes, phone number we can take, right? And
Yes.
which data type should I use for phone number?
Phone number begin.
Okay, there is number. Begin is of Java. I mean,
Uh,
if you know Java, it's not like everything is it will be same in the entire world of computer
yeah.
science. So we can use number, but the thing is, if we are not taking the I codes, the phone number has
Yeah.
codes, right? So if we are
Yes. Yes.
not taking the codes, then it should be varchar, right?
Okay.
And that's it. Else we need the address, but address will be different. So cool. Till now it's fine. If we enter this, then okay. What's the issue?
ID does not exist.
What's the issue? Do you know?
Yeah. We had written int uh, before. Yes.
Okay, cool. So if we'll say that please describe again our users database, then we have this now, right?
First name, last name.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
So and now we have created a table.
Yeah.
So we can let's insert something, right? Insert.
Yes.
How can we insert?
Insert into table name.
Yes. Okay, no issues. I mean, if you don't know, then it's cool. If you're trying to think, then it's great. If you don't know, then
Yeah.
it's cool, no issues. Right? See, if I try
Yeah,
to,
insert into
then
that
directly
we
we
need.
can put the values, right?
Yeah,
One,
yeah.
and then let's say that, let's say Atul,
Use
or
Atul.
let's say Naresh. Naresh is my first student, and then
Alright.
last name MK. I don't know what is MK, but his name was Naresh MK. Then
Mail ID.
email naresh@yahoo.com, and then phone
And
number.
phone number.
Let's say we have taken 98989898, right?
Yeah.
Now there is error.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Syntax server that are near one.
Right? Values we
Yes.
need to provide,
Yeah, yeah.
so we are able to enter it, right? No issues. The
Yes.
thing is, you don't need to know entire syntax, right? Because it will be
Yeah.
visible online whenever you want to do. The thing is, you should know the concept. What are the indexes? What are the keys? What are the constraints,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
I have registered the student. I have, sorry, this is not student. This is the user, right? We have
Use it.
successfully
Yeah.
inserted the student, right? Select star
Yeah.
from public users. It will do, then we get the data, right?
Yes.
But let's suppose I want to insert again a data.
Yeah.
Insert into users. Now let me clear screen
Values.
first. Oh my bad. Insert into users. See, public is a schema, right? So you will see this is how we write queries and data, right? First we mention the
Yes.
schema, because different schemas can have the users table, right? So we need to mention which schema is there. So first
Yes.
insert into public users, and then values. Okay. The thing is, I have forgotten our structure, so let's see the structure over here. Yes, now that's fine. Not select. Insert into public users values. Again, I'll try to enter the same details, right? Now
Yes.
I'll say Naresh, right? Then what I'll do, I'll leave the surname blank, I'll leave
Yes.
the email blank, and I'll leave the
Phone number.
right. Okay.
Duplicate key value.
See, this is the constraint it has fallen now,
Yeah.
so I'll enter 2. Cool. So what has happened now with me, if I try to access the data, users, oh my bad. See, oh, select star from public users. Yes, cool. And now again I have the Naresh user, but I don't have email, I don't have phone, right?
Yes. Yes.
So the thing is, what if I want that, if I'm trying to enter the data, right? If I want to insert the data, so I want to make sure that particular column should not have null values, right?
Yes.
So if, like, if there was I mean already integer I there, right? So what
Yeah. Yeah.
happened, we get the duplicate key, right? Key already exists data,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it violates the constraint, right? These are called constraint. Okay,
Constraints. Yes.
so these are called constraint. So it's a unique key constraint, that's why we got
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah.
again, if I want my email ID and phone number to be there to register a student, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
let's drop table public user again. So let's create the table again. Cool.
Yeah.
So create
Table.
table
Name.
users, right? And
Yes.
then int, sorry, id,
ID.
int
Int. Primary key.
primary key. All right,
Is
then
first
first name,
name.
right?
Wrapper.
Varchar
255.
255. Now the thing is, we have come till here, right?
Yeah.
Thing is, we don't want our first name to be blank as well, right? We need to know the name.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
just write not null. Cool.
Not. Yeah.
Then the last name,
First name.
we can leave the last name, right? Varchar.
Where.
It can be null, so we'll leave it. And then phone number. Oh, no,
Phone.
email. Let's write first email.
Yeah.
Email. Then varchar 255. Again not null,
Not
right?
small.
Then
Yes.
phone number. Phone number again. Let's say varchar, and then let's take only 30, because max possibility is 30 of a phone number, right? Phone number varies for different countries, right?
Yeah.
It won't be greater than 30, so you can take the 30, and then if you try to create,
Yeah.
then it's giving us an
Spelling
error because
mistake.
spelling error VHVARCHAR, right? Created the table, right?
Yeah.
Let's see the table, describe users. Now see, first name is not null, and
Yeah.
the email is also, or phone number is null, no issues. So let's try to insert the values over here, right? Again, insert. Okay, we can use the same query insert that we have used earlier. Okay, how
Yeah.
much time it's going to take, right? Let's write it down. Insert
Insert
into
into table name
users values, and 2
values.
is already there, right? So 3,
Yeah.
and then string and Naresh, and then last name can be empty, and the email empty, and then phone number plus 91 and 9999999, right? If I'll do this and hit enter now, it's enter, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is it's empty, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is we
Last.
have taken the first name should be not null, right?
Yeah.
So we haven't made this null, right? But the next
Yeah.
thing, last name
Yeah.
is null, but this thing is
Yeah.
also null, right? But the thing is this
Yeah.
is empty string, it is empty,
Yeah.
so that's why it does not throw any error. If we just make it null, then constraint is failed, right?
Yeah.
So one thing that people don't understand is that empty, if we try to provide, then it won't be considered as null, right? Because empty character is still a character, right?
Yeah.
And null is null. Null means no
Null.
value. So
Okay.
this thing is the first thing that one should know. I mean, not a great thing, nobody's going to ask you unless you are a database administrator or you are
Okay.
trying to be in a profile where database is required in way too much details. But this thing is one should know that okay, what is covered under the null constraint, right? So cool.
Yeah.
So this we have seen this thing right now, right? So
Yeah.
if I do now again from public users, then I have only one table, right? And how,
Yeah.
what's the query for delete?
Uh, delete table names.
Delete from public users where id equals to 3,
Three.
right? Delete 0 means nothing is deleted, right? Delete
Yeah.
1 means 1 is deleted.
Delete.
You will
Yes.
see that update operations will provide you some values when you
Yeah.
use the hyphenate and all. Then some
Yeah.
operations return integer values and some operations don't return anything. Like if we
Yeah.
insert into, okay, let's use the older, okay, because we are trying to enter null. Let's suppose empty, we are trying to enter. See, insert 0 and 1 over here, right? And over here
Yes.
it's 1, right? It's 1 here,
Yeah.
right? If I try to do the select star from public and users, then there is nothing, right? It's the data that we get, and
Yeah.
else we get these values. So based on these values we can know that whether the data is updated or not. If it's 0, then it means that it is not updated. If 1, that it is
Yeah.
updated. And one more thing, it not just it has updated. Let me add one more thing. Okay, 2, right? How many data we have in our system
Two.
now? See, count is
Two
an
records.
aggregate function, right?
Yeah.
From public users, we will go through all of them. So we have 2 records, right?
Yeah.
So if I want to delete data from there again, delete from public users, right?
Okay.
If I enter it, what integer I will get over here?
It's one.
2. It does not
Yeah.
return 0 and 1 is not like true and false. I have done something.
Yeah.
It returns the number of rows it has affected, the query has affected. So it's saying that
Okay.
your query has affected 2 rows.
Rows. Okay. Acha. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Then let's move forward. Let's see our database again. So let's start from public users. Cool. So nothing is in our table
Using.
right now, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's do one thing. Try to insert the data. Insert into values. Okay, and I've forgotten. Let's see what is schema of this. Okay, cool. So insert into values, and then 1, and then Naresh, and then last name MK, and then email ID naresh@gmail.com, and then phone number +91 996 and something something, and end it and insert it, and it's giving an error, syntax near one, but okay, my bad.
Schema.
Right, insert it, right?
Yeah.
Let's clean the screen and then try to enter again. What will happen if I try to enter this data again? It will going to throw me an error because one is violating the unique key constraint, that is the primary, right?
Yeah.
So I need to make it 2,
Yeah.
right? Now it is fine, right?
Yeah.
But not really. The thing is, if I'll see users, then what will happen? Two users have same email ID and two users have same
Phone number.
phone number, and that should not be the case, right?
Yes.
This should not be the case because these things should be unique, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So we have
Yeah.
already seen the unique constraint that we haven't consciously put, but if we create a primary key, then it will create a unique constraint on its own, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
one thing that we need to know, what will happen if we create external unique constraint as well, right?
Yeah.
Now there are two ways. One thing we can do is that we can add directly a new, this table is already created, right? Users.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but if I want to create a unique constraint now, when the table is
Yeah.
already create, okay, before that let me, okay, Visual Studio, let me show you something. See, one thing we need to know that there are three type of SQL commands, right? One is DML,
Yeah.
one is
DDA.
one is DML, another one is DDL, and then DQL, right? So these are the basic segregations of these, right?
Yeah.
So what happens? DML will be create, right? You are creating something,
Yes.
right? Then you are dropping something.
Yes.
You are dropping something, right? To
Yeah.
create, drop, and alter. These are called DDL. Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad. DDL, and then DML. And why it's called DDL? Because it's data definition language. You are changing the structure.
Structure. Yeah.
You are changing the structure of table, not the data of the table. You are changing
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
structure of the table. So these are called DDL commands, right? Another
Yeah.
thing is DML. DML is you are manipulating the data. Data definition
Yes.
language, data manipulation language. Over here, what we can say, insert. You are manipulating the data, right? You are inserting the data. Then
Update.
update, right? And
Delete.
then if you do the delete, right? So the first interview question is delete versus truncate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very basic interview question. Can you answer this in this one?
Exactly. I didn't have ideas, but delete is like deleting the records in the table. Truncate is like deleting the entire table.
Nice, great, nice answer. And now tell me, truncate will be DML command or DDL command?
DDL.
DDL. Why? It is
Yeah.
not changing the structure.
Like it is enter removing the table.
Delete. I mean, what? See, the difference is if I am doing this select asterisk from, sorry, my bad. Delete
Delete.
from table, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's and table name. Delete from table name. Then it will be equivalent to truncate table and table name, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It will be equivalent to this one, right?
Yes. Yes.
If delete is DML, how truncate can be DDL?
Yeah. Yeah.
These two are equivalent, right?
Equivalent. Yeah.
So why you said that truncate is in DDL and delete is DML?
Like for delete, we can specifically use the clause statements to delete specific record. But for
So
in truncate,
wait. Let's suppose then there is update, and if I do this update some value from y table, right? Y table, y column,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Z table, y column I want to update, and another table
yeah,
I want to update everything from a table, right?
yeah, yeah,
So which one? I mean, if you allow this thing to some user, why we have created three items, right? We can provide different authorization to different users, right? one user is
Yes,
authorized
yes.
to do this, one user is authorized to do this, one user is authorized to do this, right? So why
Yeah,
you are saying that okay, if truncate is will be one thing, that okay, truncate will be able to, if it's deleting all the data, right? You're saying
yeah,
that
yeah,
okay, deleting all the data should not be accessible for the person who has DML access. So what
yeah,
I'll put it here, right? But if he
yeah.
do a thing like this, then will it make sense?
No, sir.
Have you read somewhere that truncate is the DLL command, or you are using your own brain?
One thing.
Okay, cool. The thing is, the truncate is a DDL command. The reason is the truncate will be the truncate. If we'll use the truncate, it will remove the entire database data of the entire table in one go, right?
Yes, sir.
Delete asterisk will do the same thing, but at least we know that we are doing this, right? Deleting
Yeah,
table
yeah.
one by one will require some time. So that's
Yes,
why
yes.
the truncate is a little critical thing, and it will
Yeah.
take lock of entire table and then do a lot of stuff that require the DDL level access. That's why the truncate is in the DDL statement. Otherwise, these two things will be same, right? If I delete from table and truncate the table, then both things will be same. Let's see that in our database as well. We have two
Yes,
data,
yes.
right, over here.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
if I'll do the delete from and public users, then the table is empty, right? Two rows affected.
Yes, yes.
So if I'll try to see public users, then it will be empty.
Yes, sir.
Now insert values. Again I have inserted two data, right? So if I run
Yeah.
again, then two data is there, right? So truncate table and then public users, right? Truncated table, right? Cool.
Yes.
It does not return
Yeah.
anything, how many rows are affected, right? Because it meant to delete everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So now if I
Yeah.
again try to see how many tables are rows are left in my users, then it's empty, zero, right?
Yes.
So both are working in the same thing, but still the truncate is DDL instead of
No.
DML. Cool.
No.
Okay, okay. So okay, now we need to update. So okay, cool. So we need to change our right now. What do we have in our users table? This data. Oh, okay, empty. Oh, cool. Let's insert some
Empty.
data. One, two, right? So we have two data in our table right now,
Yeah.
right? We have inserted right now. So if I do the select public users, you will see two. So what's the issue with this data? That the email ID and the phone number should be unique, right?
Unique. Yes.
So there can be two ways to add the constraint. Now we need the constraint, right? If we do the users describe users, there are no constraint over here, right? Only the primary
Yeah.
we have right now. So if
Yeah.
I want to add the constraint, then adding the constraint should be which query, DML, DDL, or DQL?
Uh, DDL, sir.
Yes, it should be data definition. So how many
Yeah.
types of DDL command we know? Which one should we use?
We know source of create. Which one? Alter. Sir.
Yes, way too easy, right? Database is way too easy, right? If you are good with the database,
Yeah.
don't think you are good in a lot of things, because database is the easiest thing that one could know, at least if you are a software developer, right? So alter
Yeah.
table, right? Oh, my bad, table.
Yeah.
Then
Alter.
see one thing again. Uh, Whenever we use, I mean, people find it hard to remember the commands of DDL, DML, and DQL. So see, all the
Yeah.
DDL level commands, it is
Yeah.
operated on the structures, right?
Table.
Not the data.
Yeah. Structure. Yeah.
The structures can be, when I'm saying the structure, it means that structure type, that can be a view, that can be a table, that can be a sequence, right? You can create a table, you
Yeah.
can create a view, you can create a sequence. Same the drop, right? Even you can drop a database as well. So over
Yeah. Yeah.
here you need to mention that what you want to, like when I truncated, right? Truncate, okay, I'm not going to truncate it, but if I want to truncate, then what I have done, truncate, then table,
From.
right? Why I
Yeah.
need to mention table? Because the thing is I
Yeah.
can truncate a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I have used the truncate table, because I can truncate a view as well. I can constrain truncate a sequence as well. We have seen, right? Sequence table
Yeah,
and view.
yeah, yeah,
These are things,
yeah.
right? Yes.
Type of uh, this we can sequence
So
table.
when I'm doing the alter, right? If I'm doing the alter, so I will write the table, right? Because again, it's a
Yeah, okay.
DDL command. Which table
DDL
I need
command.
to do? Update. I need to update the public users, right?
Yeah,
Users I
yeah.
need to update. Now what I need to do? I need to add something, right?
Yes, yes.
So add. What I need to add?
Primary the unique constraint for
Constraint we need to add, right?
emailer. Yeah,
So add constraint, right?
yeah, yeah,
And then what I need to, and then I need to add the unique constraint, right?
yeah, yeah.
And what should be the unique thing? Unique thing should be
Email. Yeah,
email, right?
email.
Email, right? But
Yeah,
before
yeah.
doing this, we need to give the constraint a name as well, right?
Yeah.
Unique constraint.
Could not create unique.
And why we get the error?
Uh, could not create unique index. Okay, duplicate because it is already duplicate
The
in the
data
table.
that we have, the
Yeah,
data that we have already having the duplicate data.
duplicate.
So this case we
Yeah,
are seeing right now is when you already
yeah,
have the data and someone says that
yeah,
we need to create a unique constraint. Then first you
yeah.
need to fix the data, right? In this
Yes,
case you
yes,
cannot add, because in the live database in your production environment, if you
yeah,
have some data, then there are chance that your data will be duplicate, right? Then you need to
yes,
remove that entries or make it blank or do
yes,
something else, right? You need to make sure that
yes,
this does
yes,
not exist. So what we
yes,
will do, we need to drop
yes.
it, right?
Yeah.
So delete, not drop, delete from.
From table
No,
public dot users.
table is for DDL commands, right?
Yes,
This is
yeah.
DML, so
Public
we
dot
don't write
users.
table, right? We'll need a table name
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where ID
Where
equals to 2.
ID is equal to 2.
Now we have one data, right?
Yes. Let's start from public dot users.
So let's
Yes.
clear
Now
the screen.
alter table.
Wait. Insert another well value as well.
Okay.
Insert into public users, right? These DML command we don't write table. We write table name, right?
Yes.
You
Yes.
every time you have sent the table. That's why I mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay. So then
Values.
values, and then inside
Yeah.
this one is already
Value
there, right?
equal to
So two,
huh?
and let's write Atul. Okay, second Ashish was my second student, and then last name was Gautam,
The
and
mail
then
ID.
email will be Ashish at the rate. Okay,
Yeah.
he's working for. Okay, let's take randommail.com. Cool. And then phone number we need to
Phone
put,
number.
and then plus 91 and something and insert, right? So now we have two data, right?
Start.
Public users.
Use.
We have two data, right? So what we'll do now? Now our data is
That.
eligible for creating the constraint, primary key constraint, because there is no duplicate data, at least for the email, right? So we will alter
Yes.
table. Now we'll write table here, right?
Yes.
Public
Yes.
users, right?
Use.
And then
Yes.
we are here to add a constraint, right? So we'll
Constraint.
do the add
Un.
constraint, right? And then constraint
Unique.
name unique email constraint. I'll let you know
Yes.
why. Why we are giving the name.
Yeah.
And then unique, and what unique data should be email, right?
Yes.
Table altered, right? Now if I'll say that please describe the users table to me, then unique email constraint is there, right? And the
Yeah.
default, I've told you the default index type is
Right.
always tree, right?
Big.
So it is used to be tree.
Yeah.
Again, now if I try to insert the same thing, insert uh, into
Public
public
dot
users
users. Values.
values, then two
ID
two
with
are already there,
3.
right? So after Naresh, then Atul is there, right? Let's say Atul, and cast I don't know, and then we have email, and let's use the same email as of Ashish or Naresh. Let's
Yeah.
use the same email as of Naresh. So we
Yes.
have same email, and then number. Okay, let's take the number of Naresh as well, right? So now, okay, ID 2. Okay, cool. This is another constraint, right? This is not the unique constraint that we have created.
Yes.
So 3.
3.
So duplicate key value violates the unique constraint.
That's
Now
right.
it is
Yes.
showing us the name, right? Unique email
Yeah.
constraint is
Email constraint.
right.
Yes.
If you have some random name, then we won't be able to know, right, which constraint it has
Yeah.
called,
Yeah.
right? Right now, if I read this thing
Yes. Yes.
in the SQL console or in your logs, if you see this thing, right, okay, unique email constraint is violated, then you will be directly able to know, right, that this thing is violated. Otherwise, if you copy paste this data, then it
Yes.
won't be, I mean, this key email and equals to this already exists, and this will help you, right? But if you
Yes.
don't have the access to the particular table, then you won't be understand what's happening if it does not mean anything to you. So
Yeah.
that's why the meaningful name is important, and even it's visible over here as well, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
suppose instead of this, it should be some hash and random integers, then you won't be able to know it, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
when Hibernate creates its own uh, indexes and constraint, then it gives the random name,
Yes.
which is something like hash or and something. So it's very
Yeah.
hard to understand that which constraint is there. That's why the naming is very important. Cool. So this was the one way. Now the thing we have seen is I cannot enter the same email ID. So
Yeah.
let me just change it to atul@gmail, and we will be able to successfully insert. Now we have
Yes.
3. If we check our data again in our database, now we have three
So,
three users, right?
yes.
But out of 3, 2 users have the same number, right?
Yes.
So number should be also unique constraint, right? Now
Yeah.
we can directly add directly and provide the unique constraint. This should be the one way, right? By
Yeah.
altering
Yeah.
the table again,
Yeah.
we can do that, right? We have seen.
Yeah. But we have to remove the records for phone number.
Yes, we need to delete the record first. But what I'm going to
Yes.
do right now, I'm going to drop the table,
Okay.
right? Because we have
Yeah.
seen how to add a constraint, and to be
Yeah. Yeah.
specific, unique constraint. But
Yeah.
when I'm creating the table,
Yeah.
create table public users, right? And then
Yes.
id integer primary key,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then first name, then varchar,
Where
then 255,
255.
then
Last
last
name
name, then
where
varchar, then 255, right?
255.
And
Yes.
then email.
Email.
Okay, one thing we have
Email should
forgotten,
be
that not null, right? Not null.
not there.
Okay, then we got here email again varchar, right?
Where
255
255. Add
not null,
not.
right? This thing
Yeah. Yeah.
is, we have added not null. Okay, let's not add not null first. Okay, not null, let's add not null. And then phone number, right? And phone number, what we will do,
Phone number also not null.
come again.
Phone number also we can take varchar.
Yes, we can take the varchar, but the thing is, we are we want the varchar, right? And we can take 30, right? But we
Yeah.
want it to be unique as well, so we'll write unique.
Okay.
See, unique. So now we'll say please describe the users. So you will see unique phone number.
Yeah.
And now the thing is, we haven't provided anything for the
Yeah. Yeah.
constraint name, right? Unique constraint name we
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
provided. So the default is users, because
User.
the table
Phone
is
number.
user, right? And then column
Phone number.
name is phone number,
Key.
and then underscore plus key, right? So this is the default
Yeah.
way of creating the user. And then over
Yes.
here you can see we haven't given a name of the primary key as well, right? So what it does, user, right? But instead of id, it has used primary key, because it was a
Yeah.
primary key, not a normal key, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
this was a normal key, so it was a key, and it was primary key, so it was a p key, right?
Yeah.
So everything has a logic behind it, right?
Yeah.
So now we are not able to insert the duplicate numbers. Okay, okay, now created insert. If I add this, Atul is inserted with 30, right? If I again enter, duplicate violates the key for number, right? It is violating. violating the
Yes, yes,
constraint, right? So let's
yeah,
drop the table again.
yeah.
Drop table users. Okay, my bad. Users. So we will create the table again. Create table public and users, right? And then
Yes,
integer, sorry, id integer primary key,
yeah,
and then we'll see first name
yeah.
var char, and then 255, and okay, shit, my bad, it should be null but no issues. Then last name var char again 255, and then email, right? email email, and then var char, then 255, and not null, right? Cool.
Null.
And then phone number var char 30, and over here we'll say unique, right?
Yes.
Can we do the unique and not null simultaneously? Okay, yeah, my bad. var char c char.
H.
Okay, so now if I'll say the please describe the users table. Then my phone number is
Phone.
not null as well, and my phone number has a unique consent as well. So if I want to make sure that a thing is unique and not null, we can directly write it simultaneously, right?
Yes.
Even you can
Yeah, yeah.
write not null and unique, or unique and not null simultaneously, it will have zero impact, right? So let's,
Yes.
if we see, okay, let's describe our table users. Now we know that, okay, id is not null, it should be not null because it's a primary key. Email id should be also not null, and phone number should be unique as well, right?
Yes.
But the thing is, our email should also be unique, right? So we have already
Yes.
seen what we'll do: alter table,
Okay.
then public users.
Record
And
users.
why we are here to add
Uh,
constraint,
Print
right?
unique
Then unique
email.
email, what we are doing, giving name, right? Unique given constraint, TRAINT, constraint, and then unique, and then email too. Okay, unique email. Okay, what's the issue?
We call constraint unique email. It's inside constraint unique email. Syntax error. So,
The syntax error, it is visible, but what's the syntax error? See, everything is fine, right?
yeah,
constraint.
yeah.
Okay,
Altered. Yeah.
so I know what I have written wrong, or I write something wrong just to make sure that you know how to read it, right?
Yeah.
See,
Yes. Yes.
it has saying as well, right, that before this thing everything is fine, right? After user something is wrong
Yes.
in this. And the thing is, with the database queries, it's showing that, okay, something is wrong in here, right? It is showing this thing here.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the very bad thing about the database, because the error was over here. The error
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
never be the exact like in the languages, like in Java and some other places. You will
Yeah.
get I mean, not good
Yeah.
errors. Cool. See, over here is saying that, okay, parenthesis issue is there. Over here is saying email, but the issue was of constraint, right?
Yes. Yes.
So let's end our session here today. It's already been
Yes.
a lot of time. So
Yeah.
okay, let
Yeah.
me stop the recording first.